Now that I have your attention, I thought I would do another video to extrapolate on the things that I touched on, but just to get to a few comments from the more rude element of the population. And there are quite a number of them. In fact, they are the majority. Uh, shows really the level of their intelligence, which is ironic, even moronic, to think that they have some scientific grasp, intelligent grasp on reality through science, which they don't have. If you listen to a video vlog that you don't agree with, but the only comment you're going to leave is a physical, superficial insult. He's dirty, looks like a dirty wizard, blah blah blah, comments about facial hair. Give me a break. Is that what you would say when you first see Einstein? I mean, he wasn't exactly poster boy for Madison Avenue fashion. Did he smell? I don't know. I don't care. The point is, that's rude, it's not civilized, it does not show much intelligence whatsoever. And that's the majority of comments. So for the rest of you out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's embarrassing if you want to lump yourselves together with that kind of science gaggle. I mean, is that what you people are all about? You want to be against mysticism, you want to be against metaphysics, you want to be against religion, you want to be against ancient science, you want to be against astrology. Fine. Group yourselves together, but that's my comment on you. It doesn't bother me. I realize the extent of your mental capacity. It doesn't worry me. But for the rest of the people who are still listening and not looking and trying to take apart my hygiene in some way, I'm not going to get into that. That's not what this video is about. That's not what I'm about. I have 5,000 videos on the internet. And I notice that people just watch the other video. They don't watch anything else. They don't know how to dig deeper. People make uh, disparaging remarks about research. What research have you done? You watch a vlog for a few minutes and you think you know everything because you disagree. You don't like the fact that I point a finger at your sacred cow. These people in science, you may call them brilliant. That's fine. But let me tell you where I'm coming from, because you obviously made a lot of assumptions. Carl Sagan, when he first put out his series called Cosmos, that was back in the 70s and 80s, and I believe it was a 13-part series. I believe it was on PBS. I believe that it was before they even thought of the internet, putting anything on the internet, communicating on the internet, before they even put it out as a video series on VHS tape and now DVD. I watched that stuff. I lived on that. I just devoured up everything that Carl Sagan ever said. And I was a kid back then. Right? No, you didn't realize that. You just assumed that I was ignorant and didn't know anything that I'm talking about. No, I watched those. In fact, before most of you were even born, before you were a twinkle in your daddy's eye, I watched that. I listened to that Carl Sagan stuff. I analyzed it. I believed every word of it and thought it was so fascinating, just like you do about this little song right now. But then, over a few decades, I started to question where it was all coming from. Now, take this with a grain of salt because the whole philosophy of Carl Sagan, it is a valid premise, but it is missing a lot of truth. There's something that he doesn't understand. And that's why I felt like making the video. It doesn't mean that in a few minutes I can explain what it is. I have to make a series just as extenuating and just as developed as Carl Sagan did. And no, I don't have the kind of funding. No, I don't have all that yet. But that's okay. I'll get to it. So don't think that you're going to challenge me and put me down just because for a few minutes you think that I have nothing more to say than Carl Sagan's 13-part series, 1 hour installments. It's interesting that the final quote on the song video, he's saying that we are made of star stuff. We are the way that the universe gets to know itself, and we have been here before. I think that's the last line that they chose to use in the mix. What does he mean by that? Does he mean that we've had past lives? That the individuality has been here before? In some shape or form? A tangible form of that is that person's mind, that's that thinking, and it carries on throughout the eons. Is that what he's referring to? Or is he just referring to the fact that star stuff is matter and random molecules that have never been destroyed, they just reassimilate over time, or I shouldn't say reassimilate, just random atoms come together from distant parts of the solar system or the galaxy. Is that what he's saying? Because if that's what he means, then this star stuff doesn't know anything. It doesn't have the kind of consciousness that is involved with our humanity. So I think he's being rather vague. Don't you? If he doesn't believe in spirit, the eternal journey of the soul, if he does not believe in that, then his statements are ambiguous. We are star stuff. We've been here before, and this is the way the universe gets to know itself. Do you mean that through this life, your life, say if you were Carl Sagan, this is the way that the universe gets to know itself through Carl Sagan talking and saying these things? Well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So how is the universe getting to know itself? How does it get to know itself? By being a random combination of stardust, cosmic dust, from billions and billions of stars. Well, what does it know? And when Carl Sagan dies, what does it know? Because it's on video, then, and you can remix it as a song, then the universe knows? And all you Sagan followers or whoever else, Carl Sagan is just the one that I'm more familiar with. The other guys I know just like a little bit here and there. And the science guy, he's a nerdy little chump. But I like him in some ways, although having to find flaws because my mind is always thinking scientifically, critically, and sorry, but not sorry. I found a lot of flaws in their thinking and their philosophies and their work. And you can't rest on your laurels. People want to sit around saying they're brilliant. Well, who are you? Who are you? People that call me a dirty wizard?